The Royal Court, in the heart of exclusive Chelsea. For 65 years, a bastion of new British writing. Now at the centre of an anti-Semitism scandal.
We are changing the world.
Meet the main character of its latest play, Rare Earth Mettle. A world-conquering, malevolent billionaire. This was promotional material when they first launched the play. Hershel Fink, his name. An obviously Jewish name. Even though, in the play, he's not Jewish. And that's a big problem, feel many in the Jewish community.
It's a racist depiction of a Jewish person. It depicts them as rich, greedy, controlling, in power, and these are stereotypes that have existed throughout the centuries. It is something that is very hurtful to the Jewish community here today.
And particularly so given the current situation. Attacks against Jews in the UK are at a level not seen before.
We had a massive spike in anti-Semitism in this country and in London, and it is absolutely damaging to the fight against anti-Semitism when these kind of anti-Jewish stereotypes slip through in plain sight in somewhere as high profile and respected as the Royal Court Theatre.
After the scandal broke, the writer changed the name of the character from Hershel Fink to Arthur Finn. The Royal Court apologised to the Jewish community, calling it unconscious bias. So, end of story?
Well, not quite, because it's emerged that just a couple of months before that apology, a Jewish director attended a workshop here and voiced really quite serious concerns about that name and the link into anti-Semitism. So why didn't the Royal Court act? Well, we asked them for an interview several times. They repeatedly declined.
Here's to bravery.
We wanted to interview Vicky Featherstone, the person in charge at the Royal Court, who read and commissioned the play. She wasn't, we were told in a statement, made aware of the Jewish director's concerns. But the government's independent anti-Semitism advisor says questions need to be asked. About a place in receipt of more than £10 million of taxpayers' money in the last 5 years that time and again failed to spot this.
This is horrendous stuff. And this is kind of almost as simple as it gets in terms of anti-Semitism, as straightforward as it gets. You know, if this was some amateur dramatic society somewhere, I'd be horrified. But this is at a level far higher than that. And if people aren't prepared to act on racism when it's pointed out to them, then they shouldn't be in their roles. That's as simple as that.
The Royal Court said it held itself accountable for why the concerns raised by the Jewish director weren't taken further, and has launched an internal review. But now the fallout is intensifying. Two major corporate sponsors of the theatre, multinational law firms, Weil and Kirkland, told us they condemn racism and anti-Semitism, and in light of what's happened, are now withdrawing all their financial backing for the theatre. This major West London theatre is now working with the Jewish community to understand how this harm was committed. Lynn, BBC London.